the
This
actual
conference will
discussion,
now be recorded.
can we have a quick introduction? Then we can understand. So basically, two things I need to understand. That is, what is the domain you are currently working and how many years of experience. So at least I'll be aware that what kind of audiences we have today. So which will help me to drive the session further. Okay.
Hi Aditya, this is Venkat. I'm working as a SAP FSEO consultant. I have 6+ years of experience.
Okay, Venki. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, Manish.
Hi, this is Mohammed Afsal. I have 12 years of experience in master data management, and currently I'm working as a MDM consultant with Infosys.
Okay. Okay. Don't mention organization name. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello. Hi, this is Murtuza. I have overall 14 years of experience. I'm working as a data architect, SAP data architect.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Suprit.
I I have around 8 years of experience. I'm into Oracle actually. So currently I just moved to SAP.
Okay. Okay. Uh, S. Das.
Hi, this is Sonali. I have experience as assistant managing editor, completed 5 years.
Okay. Okay. So Manish, I can't hear you. I'm not sure whether you can able to hear me. Okay. Fine. So what we can do that before I start the discussion, let me introduce myself. So myself, Aditya, I'm having 15 years of experience in SAP and categorically more than 9 years experience on SAP master data. So I have started my career as an ABAPer, as a technical person, and then I got an opportunity to move to MDM and then MDG. So in MDG, I have been part of a several implementation and the support project as well. So those projects are related to manufacturing, retail, life science, etc. And and during that, I have experience to deal with a different domain in MDG, which is a material master, business partner, customer, vendor, finance, etc. And today, whatever we will discuss, that is all I acquired the knowledge from the different project. So those experience ultimately I'm sharing with you all. So anyway, so we have some set of agenda, because without agenda it's very difficult to start and continue the things. So we have that agenda and we will continue to discuss based on the agenda. But before that, I can see there is one more person who joined, Srini. Can you able to hear me? Srini, you are on mute. Can you please unmute yourself? Yeah, if you can briefly introduce yourself, like which domain currently you are working and how many years of experience you have. Okay, I think I'm not
Yep.
able to hear. Okay, so I think we can start now. Uh, okay, so this is a quick agenda which we have as far as SAP MDG is concerned, Master Data Governance is concerned. Now this agenda,
Yeah, screen is not shared, Aditya.
wait a minute. I think it is visible now.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so what you can see at this moment on the screen, this is a kind of a agenda which we have in SAP MDG. So the entire MDG we have divided into several chapters. Otherwise, it's very difficult to drive. So we decided to break the things into the several chapters, and then every chapter having some specific topics. Okay, and what are the topics which we are covering? It is the topic which is generally having as a job description for SAP MDG. Okay, so you can match up with the job description and our topic. There is one more question which usually people ask, that whether we can appear the certification based on this discussion. So the thing is that our topic and the certification topic is more or less same. Not there is a much difference, but the only difference is, you know, as I mentioned, that whatever I learned from the different project, I'll share the same with you all. So I will more focus on the practical side. And my first intention is to make you capable enough to deliver the project, because that is the first demand. Okay, you are a certified person but you are not delivering the project, then there is no use. So the most important thing is whether you are certified or not, that is a second part, but the first part is whether you are able to deliver the project, because it's a customer need. Okay, so that is my first intention here, that I will focus more on the practical side, on the delivery point of view. I will look into the things. Secondly, there are some certification dumps which we can help you. Okay, so that is a secondary part, but the first part is the delivery point of view. And that's what I say, that don't rely 100% on the certification based on our discussion, because certification demands more theoretical understanding. Okay, theoretical details will be here. I'm not saying that without theoretical we cannot directly jump on the practical thing. As brief as possible, because we will spend more time on the system. Okay, so that's the thin difference which we have over the certification and our discussion. So if you are coming to having the thought in mind that if I will have this discussion, I will probably complete the certification, I would say no, that's not the right thought. Okay, so certification means you have to work extra mile, but obviously we can help you with some certification dumps, certification books, etc. so that we can obviously help you. Now, coming to the specific things, that is, what are the chapters which we are going to talk about. Mainly we are going to cover up first is the introduction chapter. In the introduction chapter we will have basically the basic details. What is MDG, why MDG is required for the business, what type of MDG is necessary, whether it's a on-premise or it's a cloud version. What is the difference between the MDG as a centralized on-premise and MDG as a cloud version? Okay. Then what are the different domains are involved with? How we can drive those different domains, and ultimately what are the out-of-box configurations which we have. Mainly the
The
fundamental.
screen is not shared.
I am on the same screen.
Looks like
It's visible on me. For
Um,
me,
um,
it's visible.
wait a minute. There is some issue with the screen sharing.
It is visible actually.
Can you see now?
yes, yes.
Okay. So I was on the same Excel only. I'll have another PPT which I will come after some time. So yeah, continuation of that. So basically this is the fundamental things which we have in the discussion. The second thing is we have the data model. So the real technical part starts from here, data model. So the data model part will basically have the implementation of the different domain like business partner, finance, etc. So what are those domains we basically have? What are the different attributes, different data elements, different relationships we have, and how we can continue from there, from the data model, how we can continue to the next segments like process model and UI model. So during this discussion we will have lot of hands-on, and basically this whole discussion will be divided into the three parts: the custom data model discussion, standard data model discussion, and enhancement of the standard data model discussion. These three things we will have, and based on that we will have all these exercises, like for an example, how we can develop one custom data model, in enhancement of the standard data model, how to add the custom field in BP and finance data model, how we can add the custom entity type for BP and finance data model, what are the CVI mappings we have, the genil model. These are the exercise which we will have in the discussion. Okay. Now moving to the next segment, which is a process model. So process model basically talks about the different processes. Okay. And here in the process model, we will mainly talk about, again, how to develop the custom process model, how to enhance the standard process model, and the other lot of activities which is a part of the configuration. Then we will have the UI model. In UI model, basically we will talk about uh, what are the UI model approaches we have. We have basically two approaches. One is the FPM approach, another one is Fiori approach, UI5 component approach. So Fiori approach we will have little later in the discussion, but mainly the floor plan manager approach we will discuss in the UI model. And here again, how you can develop one custom UI, how you can develop enhancement of the standard UI, like adding some field, removing some existing field, etc. And then the 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 UI field properties. So what are the different techniques we have? The different field property, body, feeder class, etc. So what are the different techniques we have in order to develop those UI field properties? Okay. So again, here we will have a lot of exercises, lot of different examples we will take, and we'll do different exercises over the system. Then we will come to the next, which is a workflow model. So workflow model is a very important chapter in this MDG. And here we will talk about the rule-based workflow, which is an advanced workflow. It is a combination of brfplus and the workflow. And here we will create one end-to-end exercise where we will see that how we can develop a complete workflow. Okay. And again, in this segment, we will also talk about different roles, positions, organization positions, how we can link those positions with the workflow, etc. Then we have validations and derivations. It's a purely technical chapter, and here we will talk about basically the rule body and service body. What are the different rule body and what are the different service body we have? Okay. And while saying that, the service body, we have a different service bodies like email notification, rule context preparation, parallel processing, dynamic agent selections. So these are the different service body. Rule body, like we have single uh, mm, uh, single entity validation and cross entity derivation, this type of. And every single body which I'm talking about, we will have a exercise on that, because without having a specific exercise you will not able to understand how it really works. Okay, just having the theoretical understanding is not enough. Now next is the search and duplicate check. So in this particular chapter we will talk about what are the different type of search we have, and based on that, how we can develop the search configurations. And also we will talk about in this chapter the concept of duplicate check, the concept of data quality management, etc. The next chapter is the data replication. So in the data replication chapter we will mainly talk about the replication and import. So how this data replication works, particularly DRF, data replication framework. And in DRF, again we have something called ALE IDOC approach and SOA services approach. So in this ALE IDOC approach, how this whole ALE IDOC with change pointer approach works, and similar way how this SOA service works, including the key mapping. And what is the difference between if I will go with the ALE approach and if I go with the SOA service? What are the differences we have? So that also we will talk about. And along with that, we will also talk about in this chapter the data import framework, DIF. Normally, honestly speaking, nowadays we don't use much data import framework until we are on ECC MDG. Otherwise, if it is a S4 MDG, then we prefer to go with consolidation and mass processing. So basically, consolidation and mass processing is giving you a better approach for mass data creation and mass data change. And beside that, we also have a file upload, file download, key mapping, value mapping. So that is also a part of this particular chapter. Then we have the enrichment of MDG. Now in this particular topic, it's a very interesting topic, which is having mainly the Fiori configurations, how we can develop the Fiori configurations, and secondly the data analytics. So basically, if you see all S4 functionalities we are covering, S4 MDG having the major functionality which is consolidation and mass processing, data quality management, and the data analytics. If you see consolidation and mass processing, we are covering in the replication chapter. Data quality management we are covering in the search and duplicate chapter. And in the enrichment chapter, we are covering the data analytics. Okay, so all these concepts are basically covering here. And also apart from that, we also talk about like some concept about MDG cloud. Okay, so how MDG cloud works differently than the on-premise. Okay, which is a very interesting topic, and nowadays people talking about federated structure, because MDG is basically a central governance approach where MDG is a central truth for all sort of a master data. But now from there we moving to the federated structure. So how this federated structure works? What is the difference between this federated structure and this central governance approach? So those details I'm going to talk about, because MDG future is federated structure. Okay. So however, SAP is making a lot of work on this at this moment, but very soon you can see there are some developments on this. So it's very important that we have to up to date ourselves. Otherwise, it's very difficult to work with the time. And then we will also talk about some interview question answers, how you need to prepare. If you are applying for the developer role, then what kind of interviews you might have. And if you are looking for some bigger role like solution architect or something else, then what kind of interview process you must go through. So these are the things which we are going to talk about. So this is the overall chapters and the relative topics which mainly we are going to cover. Normally I start with PPT and then I come to this Excel, but I thought to do it in a different way today, rather than coming to PPT and then this Excel. I decided to first talk about this Excel and then probably I will go to the PPT, because this is the Excel which is day-to-day basis we are going to use it. So make sure that we have a list of topics in front of us. So we should focus on those topics rather than focusing something else. Okay. And as I mentioned, these topics are basically you can cross check with this topic. It's a same topic which you can find out in the job description of SAP MDG. So it's more relevant topics according to me. Okay, so any question before I move to PPT, and more or less same discussions we will have, but with some more pictorial diagrams and some more details. Yes, any questions so far?
For each topic, how many hours it would take for learning in estimation?
Okay. Any other questions? So let me first collect all the questions and then I will answer one by one.
Yeah, could you please further the structure regarding that? Could you please brief explain about federated structure?
Okay. Okay. Any other question?
How
Nitya.
expertise above is needed actually, or in functional skill also, means to have to go through this course?
Okay. Any other question?
Aditya,
Aditya,
your training will be covered for who would like to work as a architecture and functional consultant, and technical consultant. I would believe it may be covered for all these functions. Is my understanding is right?
Yeah, I'll come to the one by one all the questions I will answer. Let me first collect all the questions.
Aditya, will you be covering, like, as you said, means your approach here is quite practical point of view, but let's say a real life example, for example, let's say we have a cost center and, we want to via MDG maintain that process that those cost centers are created some internal number and then the actual numbers are given by MDG and such things like or a workflow for the cost center. Like kind of those practical needs where which are needed in the project that way. And another question was, what will be the timings of the sessions that way?
Fine. Yeah. Any other question? Otherwise, I will start answering one by one.
I have another question as well. Nowadays, what all three different companies they are asking for techno and functional. So, what is the exact difference between technical consultant and functional consultant? I don't know about the exact difference, but also which is inclusive in this
Okay,
session.
I understand. I understand your question.
Yeah.
I understand your question. Okay, I think let's answer this, and then if we have some more question, we can again in this next round we will take it. Okay, so these are the set of questions I thought I will talk about after the PPT, but it is better that we can discuss now. It's a very common question which you are actually asking, and let me answer one by one, all of them. So first thing is what will be our timing and day, etc. Timing and day will be obviously weekend. There is no doubt about this. Timing we will see the area of the people, like whether the people are coming from India or Europe zone or US zone, which zone we have. So based on that, we will maintain one common time, and accordingly we will continue. So at this moment for me, even for coordinator also, it's very difficult to say that which will be the time. It is all we need to see that what are the zone we are covering. Okay, so that is one thing. But obviously we will see for a certain time, because we know that we all are professional and we have some family commitment as well. So to keeping all these factors in mind, we will definitely have accordingly. So second thing is that is you talked about like in MDG, what are the basically roles you have? Mainly what happens that MDG we have mainly three roles: functional solution architect. Mainly three type of role we have in this module. Uh, but again, it's some organization says that we don't have luxury for this. So then it really doesn't matter for them. So, but in general, in principle, if I say, then yes, these are the three roles. Now, if I talk about that, what are the functional areas we have, what are the technical areas we have, and what are the solution architect? Mainly, MDG is a techno-functional module. So, to know MDG, it is important that at least you should have a minimum functional understanding and minimum technical understanding. When I'm using this word understanding, it does not mean I'm asking you to write ABAP code. No. But at least you should know that how these logics are working. Because if you know this, then it will help you in order to manage the project. So that is one part. Similarly, other hand, let's say you have a ABAPer, and I'm not asking ABAPer to know SD, MM, FICO. No, at least how material works, what is bill of material, how this functional the financial approach works, like you know cost center, profit center, cost center hierarchy, profit center hierarchy, at least the basic things. Because obviously MDG developers are not functional like FICO, SD or MM. No, that is you cannot expect that as well. But at least the basic understanding have a in order to drive it. So that is another thing. So based on that, we basically divide this. So functional consultant is mainly dealing with the functional areas like data model, process model, some extent UI model. UI model having a lot of technical areas as well, a workflow, a replication. So these are the functional sides, whatever we have. We will have a more discussion down the line whenever we will have this opportunity. So there I'm going to talk about that this is the area of the functional topics, which basically it's a work of functional consultant to deal with, and the technical consultants are uh, entitled to do this like a validations, derivations, UI modeling, replication. So these are the things basically they are supposed to do this. And solution architect is someone who is basically expert of overall. So when I'm saying a solution architect means you are an overall expert. Again, it doesn't mean that he's an expert of writing ABAP code. No, he is expert of having the architecture. He is expert of having the data understanding. He is the one who is having a good understanding about customer needs. So these three things are most important. Okay, so and based on that you can drive the show. So solution architect is a bigger role. Okay, the one who is above functional and technical consultant. Okay, and the person who is basically driving the show from very front line. So that is something. So we will talk about in detail, like being a solution architect, what are the areas you need to cover up, how you need to present yourself, what is the expectation from you. It's not a work of solution architect to only giving you the process improvements, new ideas. No, also it is important for the solution architect to see what is your budget, and based on the budget, which can be fit for now and which can wait for next year. Okay, that is also one of the very important job of solution architect. Okay, so this is about the role which we discussed. Now someone was asking me the federated structure. So basically, if I tell you in a very brief way, that is currently the S4 MDG or ECC MDG, whatever we are using, that is a on-premise approach. Okay, so on-premise approach means what? That means you have MDG. Just imagine. Okay, uh, unfortunately I don't have this diagram. Probably when we will have a discussion, I will show you that diagram. So let's imagine that you have a MDG at the center, and from that center you have the data is moving out to the different directions, like for BI, for APO, RM, for non-SAP systems like Onboard Sync or Syncforce, etc. You have some other systems like s4hana, like a normal ECC ERP box R3. So like that means from MDG all over the areas you are sending the data. Okay, so MDG is a single truth. okay, and source of a single source of master data. But the moment you talk about the federated structure, then MDG is not in center. Then your master data services is in center, and master data services is sending the data to uh, other systems, okay, and the other systems, MDG just one of them. So that means what? That means here MDG can send the data to SAP system, non-SAP system. Again, non-SAP system can send the data to MDG, or that means it's a vice versa relations. Okay, it's a vice versa relations with multiple systems. You can say, okay, I can also nowadays I can also create a vice versa. Yeah, obviously. You send the data to ECC, ECC send back the data to S4 MDG, possible. But when you have, let's say you have 9 or 8 different components in the whole architecture or whole landscape, and everyone is sending data to everyone. Okay, it's a give and take relations. So in that case, federated structure is one of the then the best approach. Okay, screen sharing stopped. Okay, I'm again sharing my screen. So this is one of the topic which we are going to talk about in details, and
No,
it's a very
yeah,
interesting topic.
yeah. So you told right, federated structure is different from centralized system. So how? Uh, Still, I'm not clear. Sorry. How the federated is a kind of cloud or
Let's not going no,
no?
it's basically federated structure. You can do it in a cloud version as well, yes, obviously. So if you are going to the federated structure, then it is better to go with the cloud version. And uh, otherwise, in fact, if you are in on premise, then also you can some extent build the federated structure, but obviously federated structure is better with the cloud. Okay, we will have a very
So can
detailed
I?
discussion on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Can I?
Yeah,
Yeah, can I say it's an alternate technology of central component? Can I say that?
it is the I would say not alternate, I would say this is the future, because central governance is currently good. Okay, it's a good much better, but federated structure is the future, because when you have multiple components and you want some components to give the liberty to take a decision of locally to govern the data, then it's very important that you should have a federated structure in place. Okay, so you don't need everything to be driven from MDG as a global hub. Okay, because not all the cases it really permits in your organization. You need to give sometimes locally to govern the data. Okay, because a lot of factors are involved. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah. What are the other questions? I think I covered almost everything. Now, if I missed anything, can you please recall me?
Aditya, my question that, regarding the real-time project requirements, for example, I gave example of the
Haha.
cost center.
See, that's what, like whatever we are, that is what I was trying to explain. Probably I could not able to explain properly. But the thing is that all the everything what we will do, exactly the examples which we will take, it is exactly those example which we usually deal in the project. So even there are some occasions you feel that okay, uh, this is something which exactly we have done in our discussion when you were see the similar requirement in the project, because ultimately that is what I said. My earning, whatever I have earned, learn MDG, that is from project. So whatever I will give now to you guys, it is all like whatever I have learned from project. So don't worry about that. Every single exercise which we will do, to keeping in mind that how we can execute in the project the similar case. Okay. So whether it's a data model, whether it's a UI model, workflow, replication, everything. Okay. Clear this
And
point?
yes, thank you. And which
Yeah.
version of SAP
We
MDG
are
you
using
use?
MDG. We are using MDG 9.2 S4hana 2020, the latest version, the
Okay,
latest patch.
thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. But honestly speaking, if you have MDG 9.0, even though 1909, uh, that is more than sufficient. More than sufficient. Okay. But we have the latest one, so don't worry about that.
Thank you.
Okay. So any other question in second round?
Hi, hi
If I
Aditya.
missed it. Yeah.
Regarding this user interfaces, getting data from the other systems and sending out to the other systems. So, what kind of topics will be covered here? Like, are you going to show it in system from this system, like a D365 to SAP MDG,
Interface
like that?
for a data replication and import, mainly we use couple of things. One is ALI IDOC approach, another one is the SOA approach. Okay. And ALI IDOC approach is we will talk about in details that at which occasion we can go with ALI IDOC and which occasion we can go with the SOA services with the key mapping. Okay. And also apart from the customizing sync. Customizing sync basically we use in order to extract the reference data from other R3 system. So let's say for an example, in ECC system we have some reference data, and that data we need in our MDG system. So we can use this customizing sync approach to do that. Okay, so that is we are going to cover up. And also we have this consolidation, mass processing. So this whole data replication and import is going to talk about how the data interface is happening. Okay.
Yeah. That means we can upload mass upload in SAP MDG, as well as we can pull the data from different sources, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Any other question?
You just told about something like customization sync. Can you please tell it again? Means what is this actually? I didn't get it.
Customization sync is basically we have a lot of reference data, and reference data is required because reference data means you have a material type, material group, a unit of measure, company code, sales org, purchase org. These are called as reference data, and those reference data you need in order to create the master data. So how this reference data you have in your MDG system, if it is a greenfield implementation, okay, then nothing will be there at the first hand. So in that case, you need to import those from the different systems, which is your the ongoing system. And that different system could be your R3 system like ECC, S4hana, etc. So by using the customizing sync approach, we basically import those reference data and we create them in MDG, the fresh master data with that. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Aditya, in
This is the
SAP
one time.
MDG also like implementation project and rollout project like that, it would be there, or there is no concept like that in SAP
Absolutely,
MDG?
there is a concept. So basically, Uh, if you are building for the first time MDG, it's a build project, I would say.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
and that you go live, then you might have a country specific rollout. So let's say you have some China rollout or Indonesia rollout or a Japan rollout. Okay, so based on a different country wise, then you can take a different approach. Okay, so that is absolutely
yeah.
possible because there might be different plant involved, different logics involved, different taxation involved. Okay, so that can be taken as a separate rollout project.
Yeah. Regarding technical related, so technical part also would be covered here, like what our ABAPer will do. So those kind of
Yes,
activities.
so this is the point which I was missing. Okay, so now it's a very interesting question. So what are the chapters which we have? It's good that we have the topic, but how you basically cover it up? We have already discussed that we have a basically three pillars in MDG. Not pillars. Pillars are not the right term. Pillars. When I talk about three pillars in MDG, that means something different. So basically three different designations. One is functional consultant, technical consultant, and solution architect. So fortunately or unfortunately, I have started my career as a technical person, like as an ABAPer, and then I moved to and then my current role is a solution architect basically. So I have fortunately seen all three sides. So whatever it will be, that will cover all three sides. That means I will show you the right of ABAP program with the debugging, with execution. Also, I will show you functional configuration. Also, I will show you how to manage the entire landscape. So all three angles we will cover. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that when you are explaining those topics on screen, we may be able to understand. But before we take this training, so do you feel in which areas above side, if you are make sure that if you understand those concepts before attending this sessions, then which one we supposed to go through in above side?
Let me talk to you something very frankly and very realistically. If I tell you start, if I tell you that start learning ABAP, okay, and we are starting this session from next week, is it possible for you to learn uh, parallelly? No, you can't do that because for you, sorry, means maybe you have a background of ABAP, but I'm just considering you don't know anything about ABAP. Okay, so considering that factor, so if I say that you start learn ABAP, you need some time. So that means what? Definitely, first thing is the realistic approach will be exactly opposite. The realistic approach will be first, if you want, obviously it's up to you. So if you want, you can first test this water, then you decide that which direction I will go, whether technical side, functional side, or solution architect. So MDG will be with you. Then beside that, you need to decide that I'm getting interest in technical side, so I need to learn ABAP, object-oriented ABAP, and other things. So then side by side, parallelly, you start learning those things. Or if you feel that no, I will go with the functional side, then you start learning more on SD, MM, and FICO. Okay, not maybe that level of expertise, but at least having a decent and understanding. Okay, so the thing is exactly opposite. If you do it in a very realistic way. Okay, otherwise, if you say, okay, I will do first ABAP and then I will come back for MDG. No, that's not the right route. The right route will be, if you really want MDG, then you start MDG, realize it, and then you parallelly start focusing the other modules. Okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah, that I understood.
base module will be MDG. They
Yeah,
will be your side dishes. MDG will be your main menu. Okay.
yeah. So basically, that the job opportunities more on related to functional, technical, or how it is for MDG.
See, I would say job opportunities are equal. Technical, functional. First of all, you need to understand these things already I mentioned, but I repeat. MDG is a techno-functional module. So, from interview perspective, interviewer will expect from you, even though you don't know about code writing, it's fine enough. But you should know the concept, what dynamic agent body is doing, what rule context preparation is doing. So those things you have to know conceptually.
Yeah,
That is the minimum expectation from any project. You don't need to write the code if you are not a ABAPer or if you are not a technical person. But at least what is happening there, that you should know.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Hmm.
Aditya,
Any
one thing, yeah, regarding the timings, you said it will be decided later, but means will it be both days, Saturday, Sunday, or only Saturday that way, or that is also not sure yet?
both days, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Hmm. Any other question?
I have one doubt, man, that SAP testing is similar to data quality management. Uh, some testing implementation projects required MDG consultants, hands-on experience for testing the MDG related interfaces with SAP to non-SAP systems.
Sorry,
So,
can you please repeat your question? I'm actually not getting your question properly.
yeah, okay. In SAP testing project, during implementations, they required MD and consultants as well for checking the uh, IDOC errors between how it's work between two interfaces from SAP to non-SAP systems while implementation. So the data quality management topic is related to SAP testing.
Data quality management topic is SP testing. No, so sorry. I'm completely lost. Huh? Your
Yeah,
question.
so during the implementations, there is a testing phase as well, right? So in that testing project also, they are recruiting MDG experienced people. So is this required for SAP testing as well?
That depends. What exactly you are doing. What that testing is all about. If it is related to the master data, then of course you need it.
Okay, okay.
So it totally depends on that. And you talked about data quality management. As I mentioned, MDG
Yeah, yes, yes.
having a data quality management, data analytics, along with like consolidation and mass processing. So it's already there in MDG itself.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So does the SPRO configuration will be there, or everything will be happening
No,
through
no,
MDG
SPRO
only?
configuration will be there. So basically, we
Okay.
will have a different approach. Like for an
Mm-hmm.
example, if I talk about UI field property. So you
Customer has, in the workshop agreed that yes, we are going for this master data governance tool. Then is it a replacement of the migration cockpit? Like means
mm,
normally for migration we use in s4hana this we have migration cockpit. So is this a substitute of that tool also, or
so
this
you
is
mean
just
S4 MDG is a is basically replacement of migration cockpit.
Yeah, that means can it be that way? I'm saying.
No,
Can
no,
it
no,
be?
no, 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 no. It's a beyond that. MDG
Okay.
is it's a lot of things involved, because it is not just a data migration activity. You basically validate the data, you manage the data, lot many other things you are doing. You are building the workflow, you are making the processes, a lot
Yes.
of
Actually,
validations you are
I know
doing.
that.
Yeah,
I know that.
yeah.
What I was trying to ask is, uh, I mean, I know all this what you said, but what I was trying to ask, can it be the replacement of the migration cockpit as well, or for
No, no, no.
migration
I
it is a
don't think
separate
so.
topic itself?
It's a
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
completely different topic itself. MDG
Okay.
is a
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And Aditya, one more question. Like SAP MDG ECC and SAP MDG S4 HANA. So if currently if any organization using SAP ECC, then if they want to convert to the SAP MDG S4 HANA, so that process also will be covered here, migration process.
Migration, you mean the upgrade activity from
Yeah.
ECC MDG to it's
Yeah.
not a part of this agenda, because if you want, I can obviously talk about that, because I have been part of a couple of upgrade activities in a various projects. So
Yeah. But
usually in principle it's not a part of agenda, but yes, if you want, I can obviously put some light on that.
yeah, because if you attend for any interviews, in some companies may ask, right, if they are using currently SAP MDG ECC, if they want to move to SAP MDG S4 HANA. So basically they may ask this. So that's why
Mostly
I'm
it
Absolutely,
is
asking.
absolutely.
basis, mostly basis activity. It is mostly
No, 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 no,
basis.
no. Mostly basis activity, but apart from basis activity, there are some activity which is lies with MDG as well. That is SPDD, SPAU stuff. So there are certain things you need to keep in mind. So mostly during the what he was talking about. So mostly in the interview might be they will be interested to know that whether you are aware about those precautions, and whether you at least aware about the whole process. So yes, no problem. I can talk about
Yeah,
it.
because
Okay.
if at least if we are able to communicate them like, as I know the process, then maybe that would be advantage for the people whoever is
Okay,
attending for
got
any
it.
interview.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other question?
Yeah, Aditya, Fury type of configuration, right? Like you say some, you told right, Fury type of configurations. How it's differ from existing configuration?
It's a lot of
Fury.
difference, sir. Basically, if I will, it's not possible to tell you just in one line. So we have a Fury configurations in place, and yes, there are. It's completely, I would say, hell and heaven difference. Okay, the difference between floor plan manager and the Fury. Floor plan manager is behind webbed info component. Ultimately, everything is webbed info component, but uh, there are some different approach we have. But Fury is a UI5. So UI5 component is much better view than FPM. If I can tell you, one of the UI5 component is something which in a real in a regular day use, which you can see, that is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a UI5 component. Okay, so it's a lot of differences are there. It cannot be explained in just one or two lines, but configuration level, that whole approach level is also different. Okay, so lot of differences are there. We are talking about that in the enrichment chapter. So that's what intentionally I separated this from UI modeling. Though ultimately that is also UI. But in UI modeling, I will categorically talk about FPM, and then separately I will talk about Fury configurations. Okay.
Out.
Okay, any
Someone
other
wants,
question?
yes, someone wants to start his career with this MDG functional without having any prior knowledge in
Sorry, I am
technical
hardly
side.
able to hear you.
Now is it clear?
Now it's clear.
Okay. What I am asking, like someone wants to start his career with SAP MDG functional, but he doesn't have much knowledge to the functional. So, do you means recommend like going to this course as of now? Later he can go with this functional sometimes like this.
No, I think I have just answered this. Rather, the situation is opposite. So first is you should first put your hands into MDG and then see that which direction you really would like to go.
No, definitely means
Or
I
some
want to functional only, not
you
technical.
can, if you really want to, if you are decided to go with functional, then I would say that beside MDG, you start understanding, getting the understanding from SD, FICO, and MM. Okay, may not be expert on that module, but at least having some decent understanding.
Okay,
Concept works, so that will really help you to sustain in MDG as a functional.
okay.
Okay, fine. Any other question?
I have a final question, Mr. Mohammed. After completion of this training, obviously we were able to grab the jobs from other companies. Is it possible to connect with you if we stuck in something else? If there is any communication happen between if I
No,
want
that
to
is
connect
that
with
is
you?
that is definitely possible. That is not a problem. So you can
Yeah.
connect me through coordinator. So obviously, like that sort of help definitely we always do. So
Okay.
that you don't need to ask it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Any other question? Otherwise, I will jump to the PPT. PPT almost everything we covered. So just for a namesake, we can do. So here, master data management and master data governance, the difference between that. So basically, master data management, the idea came first with the master data management. But over the period of time, it has been understand that master data management is not giving the up to the mark, the kind of output we need from a customer to satisfy the customer needs. So then the data governance came into the picture. So in data governance area, we basically deal with business partner, customer, supplier, material, and finance. So we have a different type of data: reference data, master data, transactional data, and reporting data. First of all, reference data is something which we just talked about, like material type, material group, unit of measure, company code, purchase or sales data. So these are the data which is reference data. And if you are doing the greenfield implementation categorically, you have a lack of reference data. You need the reference data. So then in that case, you can use the customizing sync to get the reference data from the other source systems like ECC, S4, etc. And then ultimately with the help of that, you create the master data. Transactional data we don't deal with in MDG, because MDG is in principle master data tool. It does not get it does not count the transaction of the transactional data. Okay, so we don't have it. And reporting data is, earlier it was out of the scope, but now, as I mentioned, that from MDG 9.0, MDG 9.0, yes, correct, MDG 9.0, 1909 HANA version onwards, this reporting data included in the MDG module. So now we call it as a data analytics. Okay, where you have a lot of graphs, pie charts based on the different data, so those things are already part of. Earlier it was not. Earlier it was a ECC MDG. So in that case, we need to extract the data from MDG to some s4hana system or BW system, and there you create basically all those pie charts, all those things. Then MDG capabilities. Yes, the one which I was talking about, three pillars. So mainly three pillars are: first pillar is that is the reusability. Second pillar is the uh, the the data quality and data governance, and the third pillar is that is the reusability. Second is, and third pillar is the data replication. Okay, so this is the three different pillars which we have in MDG capabilities. So first is, if I talk about reusability. What reusability? So you create the master data. The same master data you can change n number of times. That is the reusability. Secondly, the data quality and data governance. So basically the whole approach you take for create or change process, you go through certain governance process, and during that you check the quality of the data. And finally the replication. So you have a multiple system connected to the target system. Okay, so that connectivity you basically use in order to replicate the data. So here already we discussed, so I'm not going into much. So probably when we will have opportunity, we will talk about that. So we will have a material master, customer master, vendor master, finance master. So these are the data. These are the overall at a glance view of the master data, which we will discuss later point of time. Then data model, as I mentioned, custom data model, standard data model, enhancement of standard data model. So these three category we will maintain in order to discuss this data model. Similar fashion, custom, standard and enhancement for the process model. UI model also for same. Then we have a workflow for end-to-end the process building activity. Then we have a data validations, derivations. In validations, derivations, we have two type of body: service body, rule body. Under the service body, we have email notification, rule context preparation, dynamic agent, and parallel processing. Where rule body, we have single entity validation and cross entity derivation. So every situations what you see here, the every validations and derivation case, we will do with hands-on each and every case. Otherwise, you will not understand. Okay. Then we have a search and duplicate check. We talk about different type of search like database search, enterprise search, HANA based search, so remote key search. These are the different type of search we will talk about. We will also talk about the duplicate check, and these are all hands-on. Everything is hands-on. The replications, already we talked about that. I'm not going into much. And finally, the mass processing and consolidation, then Fiori configurations and data analytics, okay, and data quality management, okay, and that's it. So most of the things we have discussed. I think again the screen sharing gone. Wait a minute. Hmm. So most of the things, it's what we discussed in the Excel sheet. So yes, if you have any question, otherwise we can wrap up the session for today. And one more thing we forgot to discuss, that is you will be you will be providing a system, okay, to have the hands-on. Okay, so this is the system which you will be providing to have the hands-on, where we will do the daily basis activity, and the same system you can use as a reference. Okay,
Is
and
this one ECC or
regarding the,
HANA?
this is S4.
Okay, thank you.
Here we
Aditya,
have,
how many months this access will be given? Like
it will be
during
having,
older
I think,
time?
6 months. Coordinator can clarify that. I think six
Okay.
months access. Yeah. Okay. So here you can see S4 HANA 2020. Okay. And coming to the documents, you'll be having a SharePoint access. In the SharePoint, chapter wise, we will have the folder uploaded with the relevant document. Okay. The documents will be, some documents will be SAP provided documents, some documents which I created, okay, for a better understanding in a very simple way. So those documents will be available. Okay. So I think that's it. I think we have almost all the details which is required. So yes, if you have any further question, please let us know.
When we are practicing on system, so in case if we get any errors, so those errors will be
Yes, so
checked.
then you need to capture those errors. So it's a very important question. So during the practice, if you face any error, the first thing what you need to do, capture the details into the notepad with the proper steps. So the steps which I can recreate then. Okay, if you just give the screenshot, I cannot help you. I will straight away say no, I cannot help you at all. You have to give step by step details. So step 1, I tried this transaction. Then step 2, I go to this particular navigation. Step 3, then this error comes. So I can follow that instruction to recreate that issue. Okay, and then I can give you the right solution.
Yeah.
Because I have seen people just give a screenshot and they think that everything I will understand. Okay, so please, this is important.
So those things we're supposed to share with the coordinator, or any email ID will be given.
Everything, if the coordinator will be your the point of contact, the first point of contact, and all the discussions, all your concerns, all your clarifications, your needs, everything you have to reach out to the coordinator. He will be your single point of contact. Okay, and then what are the things possible for him to deliver? Wherever he needs my help, he will share with me. Okay, and based on my timing, I will respond.
Okay. That means even after this training sessions are over, then in case if we need anything, then we need to contact the coordinator only, not you.
Of always,
Yeah.
MDG coordinator is your first point of contact.
Yeah. Clear.
Okay, yeah.
Aditya, can I get the number of the coordinator, please? Like, I don't know whether I have the number of coordinator or whom, but I just want to connect with the coordinator.
Yeah, you should have contact number, email ID, everything. So coordinator, can you please talk about that? Can you please share your email ID, your in the chat so they can
Okay.
connect you?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Okay. I think we are clear now. Okay. So
Are one more thing, classes will be starting from next week only, right?
yeah, next week because tomorrow not possible. So next week we will plan.
Okay. This training, I think I heard that it is 40 hours training. So you mean sometimes that
See, let me
time
tell
might,
you. Let me
yeah.
tell you, it's not exactly 40, around 35 to 40, I would say. Okay. Because, forget about 40, it can be 80 hours training. If I will ask you, you do the things in the session itself. Okay. Normally, what happens in MDG certification training? Trainer do some exercise and they will ask the rest of the people to do the same exercise. Then it will be 80 hours training. So, but here my intention is to cover up maximum to maximum new topics which can give you a broader understanding about MDG on every chapter. Okay, 35, 40, this is not important. Important is agenda. Okay, in a professional training, you should never ask for a number of hours. Okay, if you want, I can make 40 hours, but I can guarantee you that a lot of important things will be skipped. That is not important. Important is the agenda. Whether we are covering the agenda with the required intentions or informations. That is most important thing. But yes, timing perspective, it is 35 to 40, I would say. Okay, it could be less, more, but first is the agenda. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody has. Okay. Uh, Number has been given by coordinator.
And
Okay.
means after the each course, will you be able to share the recording also of the session so that
The
just for
share
the
point which we have, the share
okay,
point which we have, there will be a separate folder for recording. So every
okay, okay.
session recording will be available there after the session.
Yeah, yeah, that is okay. Thank you.
Okay. So everything is very structured way we are doing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Thanks for your valuable time and thanks to having this session. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for your yeah. Thanks for the
Thank you.